Hello and welcome back to None Shall Intrude, and I'm playing a build that I think might actually be even stronger than the one we had in the previous episode, and it doesn't require any amount of luck to work, which is pretty crazy because I know a lot of people have been recommending the Dragon's Bounty talent. Let's just go into the fight while I talk. So, obviously, as you can pretty clearly tell, we're using a claw build. Alright, I'm using a claw build. I'm playing as the red aspect, as you can see right here, the red dragon. And we've got a bunch of whelps. So, what kind of build is this? Well, I'm going to show you after the run, obviously. This is not in the end of the run. This is basically at the very first boss fight, as you can see right here. Basically, it's, end of Act 1, I think. Yeah, end of Act 1, so it's not, that far into the run. We have these relics. I have Living Earth. I actually took the Troll's Stoneheart this time because this is really, really good, and you're going to see exactly why this is really good. Then I have the Blood of a Titan, Ancient Fire Elemental Core, obviously it's just random stuff, Hoarder's Bag, which allows us to do more damage with fire bombs, Axe of Laceration, Lava Tiles increase, and then we have Boundless Constitution, which gives us boulders, grant 200 armor at the end of a turn, and so on and so forth, even though that doesn't really do anything because we have Troll's Stonehearts, so that's not really necessary, but I'm just buying basically everything if I can, and so on and so forth. But here's the thing. Dragon's Bounty, right? Look, this is my build right now, okay? I do not have Dragon's Bounty or Dragon's Greed or whatever it's called, because to actually make that work, I know a lot of people say that it's really, really good, okay? But here's the thing. I wanted to have a build, and indeed demonstrate a build, that does not require any luck. As in, you don't need to go to the merchant, you don't need to do the death rolls, right? Because I have heard of the strategy. Someone actually messaged me about this. It wasn't even a comment, it was just literally a message that I received. And basically, it was all about death rolling at the merchant. This was a few days ago, and I was thinking to myself, oh yeah, that makes sense, because you can actually win 5,000 gold from the merchant. Which is pretty crazy, because then you can just continue death rolling over and over and over and over again, and if you get really, really lucky, then you can get another 5,000 gold and another 5,000 gold. And I actually had someone literally get, I don't even know, someone told me that they got 15,000 or 20,000 gold or something like that, and then they just spent all of that and got, an incredible amount of attack from Dragon's Bounty. But now here's the thing. That is great, but that is extremely unlikely. Whenever I've gone into the merchant and done a death roll, I have never ever gotten lucky in so much of an insane regard. And that's the reason why I personally believe that that is not a viable strategy. Because in general, what is a viable strategy? What is a viable strategy to you? A viable strategy to me, at least, is one where you can use it at any time. You do not need any extremely situational effect to impact your success. So when it comes to my success right here, when it comes to, actually doing this run, I don't need 15,000 gold, I don't need 20,000 gold, I don't need 50,000 or even 1,000 gold. I don't need any gold, basically. I need a little bit of gold just to buy a couple of relics here and there, but you don't really need them to be super fantastic. Like, yeah, sure, Troll's Stoneheart, this is very important, and I would definitely say that this is one of the things that I would highly, highly recommend trying to get if you're going to be playing something like this build. But it is, again, not one of those things where I'm going to say, yeah, you really desperately need this, because you don't. You don't desperately need it. You really don't. But it is very, very good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you just how this plays. So pretty much we are just going to be doing this, and now you see what I have down here? This is this thing, right? Every fourth melee attack, let me see if I can show you. Where is it? There we go. Grace of the Battlefield. Every fourth melee card now hits all enemies. You see this, and you see this. Look at how much damage we're doing right now. 2,600, and it's going to hit every single person on the field. Boom. Instant. And we are untouched. I have been untouched so far. I have 15,000 armor, by the way, to begin the encounter. And this is, again, another one of those things that I wanted to try and highlight here. And I wanted to try to, you know, shall we say, give you an idea that this is indeed a build that does not require anything. You can start this build when you're level 20 in the game, and you do not need to worry about anything. There is no prerequisite to making this build work in any way. This is the, I would say, maybe the most reliable build that you will see, because you don't need, as I say, you don't need to death roll. You don't need to get a huge amount of gold at the merchant or anything like that. You don't need that. And obviously, if you want to do death rolling and you want to have fun doing that, then by all means, go for it. You know, I'm not going to stop you. I think that's fun in itself. I actually really enjoy doing those kinds of things. But again, it is not going to, yeah, it might give you a very, very powerful build. Don't worry about that. It might give you an extremely powerful build, but again, that relies so heavily on you being able to get that cash and then being able to spend that cash. And I think that's just too much. For me personally, I think that's just too much. I mean, you can see right here, I have 20,000 armor right now. I have 20,000 armor, and I have not been touched in this entire battle. I am completely and utterly untouchable, and you see exactly what's happening here? This combination, and I'm saying it again, this literally, obviously this is the easiest boss, right? This is the easiest boss, so maybe it's nothing special, right? Nothing special for us to not be damaged by this guy. But let me just see, all right? Let's just see what happens as we go through the run, because then we're maybe going to see how bad or how good the build actually ends up being. Because I don't know. I've only been testing this for a little bit of time here. And we're playing on, oh yeah, I should have said before, we're playing on Armament 30 right now. I could have played on Armament 32, I think, but, or is it 34? I'm not sure, but basically I have enabled everything with the exception of the raids. The first raid doesn't heal me, but then every other raid does. And what is the other thing that I also... the hero cards. The heroes have only one card rather than two cards. If they had two cards, this might have a bit of a problem, but then again, every single build is going to have an issue with that, unless you are, again, doing some crazy thing with death rolling. And if you're doing death rolling, absolutely fine. Go for it, you know, that's your decision to make if you want to do that. So, as you can see right here, we have these two things. These are basically terrible. These are terrible for me because I'm never going to use these. Should I death roll so that I can actually show you how, shall we say, how maybe unlikely it is for me to get that 5,000 gold? If I do get 5,000 gold, I am going to laugh my head off, though. Okay, no, we got a, I think that's a legendary card. Yes, okay, I'll spin again. And we'll see what we get. Okay, we got an epic card, and we could spin again, or we could not. I guess I'll spin again just to, you know, kind of try it out and see what happens. And there you go. Okay, we gained 4,000 max HP, which is actually pretty decent. But as you can see, you need quite a lot of money. I had 900 gold, right? I had 900 gold right there, and so I had 3 spins, and again, I did not get the 5,000, which is unfortunate. You know, that's very unfortunate, but, you know, there isn't anything I could do about that. Okay, so we got the twins here. Twins are actually kind of difficult for this build, mostly because of the boulders and the way that the boulders work, but I guess I'll just show you, and so you can actually just see what's happening with that. Because it's kind of interesting, or at least I think it's kind of interesting. Maybe it's not interesting. to other people, but I don't know. I think it's interesting. So let's just do this. We'll just play Claw. We're basically playing Claw just to advance Ravage as much as possible, because if you advance Ravage and you eventually get it to something like 4,000 damage, because it can do 4,000, 5,000, etc. damage as long as you're using Claw over and over again, it's really, really strong. So yeah, you can actually do that, and I think I'm going to be playing something like this. We can play Ravage right here, I guess. Yeah, even though it's not really going to do anything. She's just out of range, unfortunately. And as you can see, we did kill one of the twins. Okay, so this is a bad RNG right here. Technically, the boulders from Troll's Stoneheart can attack one or the other. And they can't attack both, obviously, as far as I'm aware. Or do they attack both? I don't know. But whatever the case, it doesn't matter, because we're okay, you know? We're absolutely fine. We are just going to be doing 5,200 damage to this one with a supernova, because that's apparently one of the cards that we got. And then all I'm going to do is just do a nice little slash, and then she's dead. And that's it. So the twins are, even if they heal, they're not actually a problem, which is quite funny. Yeah, we're going to get another Whirlwind right here, because Whirlwind is actually a pretty decent card for us with this particular build, and hopefully it's going to be somewhat useful for us as we go forward. But most of the time, we're not really going to have too many issues. We don't need to really worry about pretty much anything. So let's just see, what can I do here? Let's do something like this. Let's do this. Do 3,600 damage right there. And then we might be able to... Yeah, we could do this. That's going to be an insane... Oh, yeah, that was nice. Look at that. That was really, really good. Now we've got a bunch of boulders well, a bunch of... Well, rubble. A bunch of rubble everywhere. But future boulders... We got a bunch of future boulders everywhere, which is going to be very, very useful for us. And let's see. Okay, yeah, we got Terra Eminence. Oh, Discharge is absolutely fantastic. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to play Supernova first, because this is insane. I mean, the amount of damage that I can do with this is just crazy. 5,200 damage. And it is going to exhaust one of my other cards, which is unfortunate, but that's just how it goes. And we'll otherwise just play something like this. There we go. And now we're going to start doing insane amounts of damage thanks to Troll's Stoneheart, which obviously does 500 damage per boulder that you have on the field. And sure, as I say before, okay, as I said, we are not killing enemies instantaneously, because that's not the kind of build this is. We're not like, you know, insanely just like bursting someone down in one hit or two hits, because that's not what the build is all about. The build is about using 0 boss mechanics. I am not using any boss mechanics, by the way, at all. I have been playing this entire run with 0 boss mechanics, which is obviously I think a pretty big deal, maybe. Is it a big deal? I don't know. But yeah, I'm playing with 0 boss mechanics, and in general, that means that I have very little to fear. You can see there, look at that, because look at it this way. Nothing can touch me right now. Nothing can touch me. Like, yeah, sure. You know, we're being attacked and everything, and that's all, you know, it's all terrible and everything, but in general, that's not really going to do anything, because look at my armor now. I have 2,800 armor right here. And I can do the same thing with this. Look at that, another 2,800 armor. So I now have 5,600 armor. What is this? What are these guys going to do? They can hit me for 2,000. But that's it. That's all they can hit me for. They can't hit me for anything else. And now I can just absolutely murder them with firebombs and all kinds of crazy other stuff that we built up at the very front there. So we don't even need to worry about it. We can play another Sandworm. I have been taking a lot of Earth cards here. Draw 1 card, all fire cards reduced by 1. Yeah, that could be pretty useful. So we'll do that. And we've taken the 1 AP. And yeah, now we have this. So as you can see, I just want to show you, I haven't been using any mechanics at all. As you can see, no mechanics have been destroyed or anything like that. And I do have the Decipher armament active. So I just wanted to show you that, because this is basically a proof of concept, as in this build is so good that you don't need to worry about anything. You really don't. You don't need to worry about anything at all. You can literally just murder enemies with Reckless Abandon. And you can, oh yeah, you can also obviously set up extremely well. And this is the thing, you're not reliant, because I know that my previous video, right? My previous video on the Green Dragon, where we were using the Rage build, right? The Rage build was, in my opinion, super fun. I love that build. I think that's really enjoyable, very fun to play. Gonna play Terra Eminence right here, and then we'll play the Sandworm here. And then we'll play a Claw, and that's good enough. And yeah, so anyway, the Green Dragon build in the previous video, that is reliant on a boss mechanic, right? So if you go out of phase 2 and you enter phase 1 or you enter phase 3, you lose all of your, well, 2 of your boss mechanics, because one of them is all phases and the others are phase 2, and they require you to be in phase 2. Whereas the way that I have done this, the way that I've set this up, you do not need to worry about boss mechanics. It's actually bonkers. It is really crazy how we don't have to worry about that at all. It is really fun. And definitely something that you might want to check out if you're playing this game. I mean, look at how much damage I can do to this guy. I mean, obviously he's taking massive damage because every single one of his copies takes damage. But look at my armor right now. I literally cannot die. I cannot die from this. And look at Ravage. I can do 2,500 damage with Ravage. Let's see how much damage I deal to this enemy over here, right? Yeah, I did 10,000 damage to him. 10,000 damage to him just in that one attack. And he's going to die in just a moment as well, which is even funnier, because now what I can do is look at this. I have 18,000 armor. Obviously, I have 15,000 armor from a talent, right? So, you know, obviously that's it's pretty obvious that that's going to be really good. But generally, you know, we are still 4,000 armor above what we had before, which is really quite crazy. Anyway, we're going to go for Ancient Pulse here, because we do have a lot of 2-cost cards, which would be really useful for us to be able to actually employ in our fights. And you can see here that my health has been restored once again, which is really, again, actually not even really necessary at this point. I feel like we don't really need that. We can go to Fiona if we want to. I think Fiona is maybe a bit difficult. Maybe she's going to be a bit difficult. I don't know whether we're going to be able to defeat her. Maybe we will be able to. Oh, we got this guy again? Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. All right. Well, that's not too bad, I guess. Let's just use 2 of these. Get the boulders up and running, and then just get a bunch of armor. We've got 2,500 armor right now, and obviously, bear in mind, this is the only way that I can get armor. I can only get armor by using earth spells on boulders. I cannot get it any other way, so that's just something to bear in mind. Let me see, let's just do that there, and do another thing here. Spread this. Yeah, it's not really that good, but whatever. And let's do that. Nice, good damage, good damage. And look at how much damage he's taking just from the boulders. So that's the funny thing. The boulders with Troll's Stoneheart are really good. And it's quite funny, because if you think about it, if you have a lot of relics that buff you in regards to how much armor you gain, you're also going to have an absolutely insane time with that. Also, I have this. Yes, I have Incinerate. And Incinerate, as you can quite clearly tell, basically counters entire bosses. You know, Raziel, I believe, doesn't he start with 50,000 armor or something like that? Or there is one boss that starts with an insane amount of armor, and all you have to do is use Incinerate on them, and then it's completely gone. Their armor is done in an instant, which is actually hilarious if you think about it. The amount of damage that you could potentially deal with that thing. And once again, look at me. I'm at full HP. I'm at 99%. I have 99%. Absolutely insane. So we could do Cinderstorm right here. That's 10,000 damage. I don't really want to use that. I'd like Ancient Pulse, I think, again. Do we want anything else? Ah, this is fantastic. There we go. Last Claw, 1,000 damage. Gains 100 damage for each enemy slain by this card. This is really good if you want to use this on your 4th attack, because that's going to provide you with even more damage, because every single time you kill someone with this, they're going to be gaining, well, you're going to be gaining damage from that on that card. So you can see here, we are now fighting the next guy, because we're fighting, is this Lucian actually? And once again, I just want to show you, I'm not using any dungeon mechanics, not dungeon mechanics, I'm not using any boss mechanics at all. No boss mechanics ever in this episode, at all. And so what we're going to do, obviously he has no armor, which is really sad because we have Incinerate in our hand right now, but that's okay. You know, we don't need to worry about that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to buff my little whelp over there somewhat. And then we're going to do a little bit of, yeah, probably something like this. Play Claw randomly. I kind of don't want to attack. Yeah, I guess we'll just do that, even though it's not really great. I did not want to destroy my rubble over there, but kind of had to, I guess. Yeah, so the thing is, okay, so this is going to very much be, it's quite a paramount thing. We need to make sure, and we need to be pretty quick about what we do here, because what we want to do, obviously, is we want to try to generate as many boulders as we possibly can, as fast as possible. So yeah, that's going to be a little difficult, I think. I'm not going to use Supernova here, by the way, either, because this is an oh no, it's not an exhaust card, but it is Ignite, and it exhausts 2 random cards in your hand. Okay, well that's absolutely fine. I can use that then. There we go. I'm going to gain some rage from that as well, but I personally, I feel like I don't know, I don't really like using that there, but I guess it's okay. I mean, I think I'm being a little bit too cautious here because I have so much armor, I really don't need to worry about it as much, but yeah, no, I do overthink things sometimes. I feel like we don't really need to that much. So what I'm going to do is I'll use Claw here and just do some damage to him, just to increase the amount of damage that Ravage can do, and that's pretty much it. I don't have the thing that draws cards when I enter Momentum, by the way, so yeah, that's obviously not exactly great, but I guess it doesn't really matter. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so Ancient Pulse is going to be useful. I want to... I guess I could do something like this here. That's some decent-ish damage. Let's get Ancient Pulse. We can use that here. We've got some fire bombs, which is actually pretty good. You know, that's not too bad. And now he's going to transition into his next phase, which is going to be obviously a little bit scary, you know, a little bit scary, but I personally don't really care. I really do not care, because we have so much AP right now, and I have a lot of armor as well, and I can basically do whatever I like. We don't have to really worry. So I'm just going to use Ancient Pulse once again. Look at that, we got more cards thanks to our this thing, the Elemental Gamble. If you play 3 different element types in the same turn, you draw 2 cards, which is very, very powerful, as you can see right here, because I'm now gaining even more armor. And then we can use Inflame here to put a lava tile under him, and then we can do some damage. We'll do 3600 on him right there. And he's going to do 10,000 to me, and then he's going to hit me for 3,000. But this is, again, not actually good for him. This is not good at all. It doesn't matter that he's doing this. I actually don't care whether he's doing this, because this build does not care about what this guy is doing at all. And I think that says everything that you really need to know about what this build is all about. It's nothing to do with luck. There is no luck-based stuff in this whatsoever. It is all about using your cards in the way that they can be used, and obviously if you can get Troll Stoneheart, then it obviously helps. But you don't need that. You don't need that. It just helps you kill bosses a little bit quicker, which, in my opinion, is pretty useful, but it is definitely not required. But I would definitely say try to get it if you can. And there you go. He's dead. I took, what? I'm still at 99% HP. So yes, there you go. Yeah, nice. Not too bad, not too bad. Okay, so we do have a nuke. I am probably going to be taking the nuke. I think it's probably pretty good for us right now. Let's see. Lose 300 HP, but gain 500 armor when an Earth card is played. That sounds not so good, actually. In my opinion. Yeah, I don't think that's particularly good. So I'm actually going to take the other thing because I don't want to lose HP. And yeah, sure, you know, gaining armor is always very good, and gaining 500 armor is very nice. But I think that that could be going a little bit overboard for my liking. I don't really want to go super hard on that too much. Okay, so now we are in Act 3, so I only have 4 more actions to take. And so what we're going to do is we're going to attack Arrowheart first, then we're going to be going for Fiona, then we'll go for the Merchant, we'll do some death rolls, we'll buy some relics, and we'll do all that wonderful stuff, have a lot of fun with that, and then we will go into the final battle, and that will be that, you know, and then we'll have a great time. So let's just do claw, last claw, and that's all I can do, unfortunately. And the funny thing is, I actually found a relic, and this is a relic that I had never seen before. But in a previous run of mine, I found a relic that when enemies move, they take 500 damage, and every single time these enemies were moving, they were taking 500 damage, which is just insane if you think about it. If you think about how crazy that is in the grand scheme of things. It is bonkers how good that actually ended up being. Let's just do that, spread that, do this. We have Ravage, which is insane at this point. Wow, that is really, really good. I'm going to play that. Nice. That was actually perfect. That was really, really good. And now we only have to deal with Arrowheart, as you can see right here. And she's gonna basically do no damage. She's gonna basically do no damage. I mean, look, she's doing 3,300 right there. She killed one of my whelps, but that's not really a big deal. And wow, thank you very much. Yeah, there was a massive car outside, apparently. Very good. Love that, don't we? Yes, absolutely love that. Okay, so let's see. I'm just going to burn away some of that. The grass is annoying, and let's just get some more lava tiles, I suppose. Some wind could be kind of useful here. Sandworm. We can play that a little bit, I guess. I don't even know where to really play this, to be honest. I guess play it there. Doesn't really matter. Play that there. I'm not going to use the nuke. There is no point in using the nuke. As you can see, she just got absolutely obliterated by all of the boulders. And the funny thing is, because we have these whelps, you see exactly what's happening right now? These whelps are literally just killing enemies for us. We don't have to do anything because the boulders and the whelps together, they kill everything. Because the boulders will kill the heroes, and the whelps will kill the regular enemies, unless they obviously have massive amounts of HP. But then, obviously, you're just going to have to do your own thing. And you're going to have to, you know, work it out yourself. But yeah, anyway. So Clean Sweep is pretty good, right? But I personally am not going to be using it. We don't even need it for Dorian, by the way. We do not need it for Dorian in any way. We've got Shredder here, deal 2,000 damage. AP cost is reduced to 2. When you combo it, reduced to 2. It's a 0 cost card right now. Okay, that's kind of weird. I'm not entirely sure what's going on with that. I guess we'll see, but it is a melee card, so we are obviously going to be using it. And then we're going to go and fight Fiona now. Let's see what she's all about, because obviously we have fought her once before, but before I was, well, let's just say that I'm not incredibly pleased about fighting her again. She is quite difficult in my opinion. Mostly because when she has sucked up all of the, you know, the rubble and the char and all that stuff, and she creates all those puddles, that actually gets really, really harsh, because then she's going to start doing some crazy stuff. Yeah, there's Shredder. Unfortunately, that's not going to do anything for me, but I could play this and then play Ravage, which is going to hit everything. which I guess is kind of good, right? Because that's going to do 2600 as well. Oh, well, it's basically going to do the same thing. But we can destroy those cannons, which is very nice. That's what I wanted. Now, let's play this over here. We're going to get more boulders. And I'm playing a little bit risky right now because I technically could have given myself armor. But I'm obviously taking some damage. I'm not sure whether I'm going to heal. Am I going to heal before the end? We might heal before the end. If we don't heal before the end, then we might have some issues. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. We'll just do some massive damage here. Let's do something like this. Gain some armor, at least a little bit. She's going to summon some royal guards now, okay? She's going to summon royal guards. And these are going to be hard, right? These are going to be difficult, and all of my whelps are dead. They have 3,500. This is why I said this fight is actually kind of tough. It's kind of a tough one. So what I'm actually going to do is... No, I'm just going to stick with my plan, actually. I'm just going to stick with my plan. My plan is to literally just use my melee cards as much as I can. Use Fire Breath, use everything that I can on the boss. As you can see, she's trying to reduce my armor, which is not really going to do anything. I always find that quite funny. Okay, so what she's going to do is she's going to turn every char and lava tile into a puddle. And now what's really funny about this is this is not actually going to do anything, because I'm going to literally just remove most of these right now. Well, I can't do that anymore, unfortunately, but I could have if I had more Earth cards right now, but I don't, unfortunately, so yeah, we're just going to have to deal with it, but she's going to literally create, I don't even know how many puddles, probably like, what, 4? 5? 5 puddles or something like that, and now she's going to gain 200 attack per puddle, which obviously is pretty harsh. That is a pretty bad thing for us to deal with. However, we do have Inflame right here, so what I can do is I can remove that. We have the potential for Flare, which can also remove all of that, so that's going to happen. There we go. And then we can actually do more cars. I love that. Yeah, did you hear that? Yeah, I hope you didn't. Yeah, you probably did you? Yes. I think you probably did. All right, so let's do this, and then we're gonna use this. Then we'll use probably this. She's gonna be gaining some stuff from it, maybe, but we're okay. Because, I mean, look at what we got. We've got 5,400 armor. She's going to hit me for quite a lot here, but she's only gaining 800 attack. And, well, yeah, okay, that's really nothing. She really did not do anything at all. And we can basically now just hit everything, including the gold veins in the back right there. And then we've got 1,700. Let's see. 1,200. Let's just do this. Then do Last Claw. That's going to kill 3 of them. And then we can do something like that, I guess. And then we got Supernova, which will actually just kill her, and that's it. There you go. So that was a little bit more difficult, as you can see. A little bit more difficult, but that's okay. We now have draw 2 more cards per turn as well. And we now have the Merchant. Well, I'm going to go into the... I think I'll go into the Mystery first. Oh, that is actually a Merchant. That's funny. Okay, that is hilarious. I think I'm probably going to buy everything that we can here. Oh, Fire Tornado? Are you serious? Fire Tornado is absolutely useless for us. I am never ever using tornadoes, so I don't think I'm actually going to spend any money on this. And instead, I'm going to continue trying to test this out. Because even though I don't have Dragon's Bounty, I want to see how likely it is. Oh, there we go. We actually got the 5,000. Wow. Okay, so it took me... How many runs? I think I've literally done... Well, you've seen me do, what, 4 or 5 runs on screen, and then in my private time I've obviously been doing quite a few test runs and so on and so forth, and now look at that, we've got 6,000. That's pretty crazy. That's a nice amount of cash right there. And we're losing some... We lost 5,000 max HP. All right, no, I don't really care about that too much. We lost... we took 5,000 damage. Okay. Can I heal? Can I actually heal? Okay, try again. Okay, try again. Another free roll. Okay, interesting. I wouldn't mind healing, actually. Okay, we got a legendary card. Legendary cards are always nice. I wouldn't mind AP, actually. AP would be fantastic. Because I'm obviously playing as the red dragon, and I'm not playing as the guy, you know, the earth dragon that actually gets that. Okay, oh, there we go, there we go. We did actually get 4,000 max HP, which doesn't really help me that much, but I guess it's okay. And we now have kinetic crystal, which allows us to gain plus 100 attack with every leftover AP. Might be useful. We sometimes end up with leftover AP randomly. And I only have 100 gold, so me going to this merchant now is basically going to do nothing. But I'm going to go here anyway, because I want to see if we miss out on something cool. And no, not really. None of this actually is any good. So I could basically just death roll once. And that's it. Let's see what happens. Oh, wow, I'm getting so lucky here. Wow, this is crazy. I am getting so lucky. I have never, ever gotten this lucky in any of my runs. That is so funny. That is extremely, extremely funny. We're getting a lot of legendary cards here. Am I going too hard on the legendary cards? I might be messing up my build right now, which is really funny. If I mess up my build just before Dorian, that is going to be so amusing. Yeah, I might be. Okay. Oh, we gained AP. Ooh, that was nice. All right. That's great. Oh, I like that. Thanks very much. Okay, let's do it. So this is where we are now going to be fighting Dorian himself, and I'm going to I'm going to do this with zero boss mechanics. Okay, I'm literally doing this with zero boss mechanics because I want to show you that this is indeed a thing. Okay, this is literally what I'm going to do. All right, I'm going to do this completely without boss mechanics. So let's have a look. We're going to just do this sandworm. Play that. Where's good? Where's good? Where's good? Probably gonna go probably somewhere like here, I guess. Then we can just do an avalanche there. We got shatter as well. Oh, shatter is absolutely fantastic. That's really, really good. Okay, we'll play claw just to increase our other abilities. And again, this is a build. As I say, I just want to try to stress this, okay? Because I know a lot of you are going to get this, but I know a couple of you are not going to get what I'm trying to say here. But anyway, the point is, what I'm trying to say is that we are going to be absolutely fine. And there is not going to be any problem here whatsoever. We're going to have a great time with this. And this is a build designed to be a safe build that doesn't require anything else. It doesn't require me death rolling. It doesn't require any specific relics. Obviously Troll Stoneheart definitely works, right? It definitely helps me, right? Troll Stoneheart is definitely helping me a massive amount. But it is not required. You don't need it. You don't need it. And look at what he's going to get here. Look at what he's going to get. Drink lava? Which lava, sir? Which lava are you going to drink right now? He's not going to drink anything. And that's the hilarious part. Okay, so we're just going to do this. I'm actually not going to use anything on him right now. I'm just going to use Shredder, I guess. And we'll use Last Claw. And I guess I'll just use Avalanche there. We can use Ravage. It's going to do some more damage. I don't really want to use Fire Breath on him because he's going to drink lava and I don't want him to gain any attack at all. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to play Cinderstorm instead. Actually, you know what? Wait a minute. I'm gonna buff one of my whelps. Let's buff this whelp over here. Yeah. Let's buff that whelp. There we go. It's gained 200 attack now because I don't know whether you know this, but you can actually do that with your cards, and you can buff your whelps by attacking them basically. And there we go. Now I have Cinderstorm for free, so I could technically use that on him, and he's then going to gain 500, which I guess is okay for 10,000 damage, right? I mean, why not? It doesn't really matter. It's funny. There we go. He's going to drink it. 500. That really does not matter in any way. That is hilarious in actual fact. And we can even use Discharge now and then use a nuke for free. And then I can use Sandworm to give myself even more armor. And just do this. And then we can do something like that. Get this up and running. Do this. I mean, I basically don't even need to worry about anything at all at this point. We can literally just relax. As I say, You do not need to worry about anything with this build at all. There's no risk because you have so many ways of gaining, well, gaining armor and everything. It's really quite insane. And look at how much damage we're doing. Look at how much damage. He started with 25,000. He's now got 17,000. And he's not even through our armor here. And I can do 10,000 to him again with Cinderstorm. Obviously, backdoor is happening now, which is not exactly great. I don't really want that. Let's see. Supernova is obviously fantastic too. But yeah, I don't even need that. Look at this. Cinder Blast right there. We can play Supernova. We can play Fisher, even though that's not really going to do anything. We just got another massive amount of armor. And he's very dead. There's nothing he can do at all. And we are still at maximum HP, basically. And that's just what I wanted to try to highlight to you today, because no boss mechanics used on 30 armament. You don't need boss mechanics with this build. Look at this. I have zero boss mechanics. I used nothing at all. Nothing whatsoever. And that's it. And obviously Troll Stoneheart, very, very useful. And I'd highly recommend trying to get that if you can. And that's basically the only thing that you really need super badly. But obviously anything that gives you armor, like for example, let me see. Which one is really, really good? Let me see if I can... Which one is it, actually? I think it's this one, actually, right? Earth plus Boulder? Yeah, I think it's this one. So basically, if you have a massive amount of char tiles as well, so if you're using your Deep Breath or Fire Breath or anything like that, then this is obviously going to make a big difference to you as well. But, as I say, not necessary. It can be used without that. But you see exactly what I'm talking about. Absolutely fantastic. And now I'm going to show you exactly what we were playing on and what we were playing with. So you can copy the build if you want to and have some fun with it. And this is what we were doing. So Fury Infusion, Conduit of Power, Firmament, which adds 1 Meteor card to the deck. And you may have seen that there wasn't a Meteor card in my deck at the end. I removed the Meteor card. Yes. So technically, you don't need this. But I was anticipating maybe getting a card that would allow me to use 3 Meteors. And I wanted to have the Meteor damage. I didn't really care about using the Meteor card itself because that would cost me 1 AP early on, and I did not want to use that. So that's the thought process behind that. Otherwise, we have Dragon Claws right here, which allows us to get 2 Upheavals. Upheaval is not a big... I'm not a big fan of Upheaval, to be honest, but it is a very, very good Earth card, as you've seen. And then you obviously have Stoneborn. As I said to you before, Stoneborn is just absolutely fantastic for raids and keeping your health relatively high. And the reason why I want my health relatively high is because of this. Bloodline. You gain plus 100 attack for every 25,000 HP at the start of combat. So if you have 75,000 HP or above, you're going to be getting an additional 300 attack, which is very, very useful. Otherwise, I am playing as the Red Dragon, which once again gives me more HP, which allows me to gain more attack. We have more cards because of Volcanic Forge. We have the Grace of the Battlefield, which every 4th melee card now hits all enemies. Then we also have Serrated Fangs, which replace all Fireball cards in the starter deck with Claw cards. And then, of course, Flames to Whelps, where we start every fight with a 500 to 1,000 whelp for each territory conquered. This is not really necessary, but you need that or this to get Bloodline. So, yeah, you can obviously do that if you want to. I mean, you don't have to. You can go with whatever you want to in that case, but I personally think this really, really works exceedingly well. And as you've seen, I didn't need any boss mechanics at all. None. I needed none whatsoever, and this is what we were playing on. As you can see, I was playing on 30 armament with these enabled. And the reason why I was playing with 0 boss mechanics is because I wanted to just check and see whether Decipher was actually even necessary or whether I could swap that out for something else. I think I could probably play at 34 armament. I think the Poisoned Potion is probably the most powerful one right now because being unable to heal, at least early on, before you have your full build, that's really harsh. So for example, if I went max and had 36, raids no longer heal at all, that would, in my opinion, be really, really difficult to play with. I think heroes playing one more card each turn, I think that might be doable with what we've got going on here, but it would be still a potential for risk. But I was playing on 30 just now, as I said. And yeah, we obviously have a bunch of extra things that we can now buy. I can buy some spikes here as well. And what else can I buy? Have I bought everything, by the way? I don't think so. Have I? Nope, there's one more thing. There we go. Purchase the red pools. Fantastic. And I also need to earn another 9,000 gold, and then I'll have treasure pile 3, and I believe that is the final thing that I need to unlock, and then my cave is indeed finished, which is very, very fun. So yeah, very, very cool. I am actually going to be playing on 34. I'm going to be trying out a little bit of that in my own time. And I actually went in from Tessan's Chosen. I personally prefer to go through Tessan's Chosen rather than the Black Heel. Tessan's Chosen usually has 4 nodes, whereas the Black Heel has 3. So it very much depends on what you personally prefer in that case, but I really, really like Tessan's Chosen. And then I like to go through Hinterlands, go to Hallowed Shores, and then go to Saint's Landing. That's usually where I like to go in terms of my route. And if you personally prefer going somewhere else, then, you know, you can obviously do that. And it's just a fun game. I really, really like this game. Super fun to play. And you can have fun too. Yeah, you can just try out this build. It's really, really enjoyable, and you don't need anything. You don't need to death roll. You don't need a huge amount of gold. You don't need anything to be able to make it work. And it's highly accessible to everyone. And that's the reason why I wanted to make this video, because it is literally a build for everyone. It is a build that everyone can do. You don't need to do anything that is luck-based. You don't need any particular relic. Even though the Troll Stoneheart does help you, of course, as I said, it does help you a great deal, but it is not necessary. So, yeah, very, very fun. And you can see exactly the reason why it's fun as well, because look at exactly what's happening right here. These guys are in my face, but look at me. I've got 2,700 armor, well, 1,200 armor now, and I'm soon going to have none. But the thing is, these enemies right here, these don't do anything. This is the funny thing. These don't really do anything, because all I need to do now is just continue using my spells, continue using my abilities as much as I possibly can, and I'm going to be getting a massive amount of armor after every single turn. And this is exactly the strength of this build, as well as being able to play mostly with earth cards. You just ignore, for the most part, you can pretty much ignore fire cards, which is quite funny, because you don't necessarily need that. But I mean, you can see exactly what's happening here. You know, it's just really fun. It's just really fun. Unfortunately, Rockstorm did not help me there. Yes, very sad, isn't it? Yes, very sad. Anyway, that is going to be it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed the build, and stay tuned, because I think I might come up with something maybe kind of fun. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But obviously, as I said, this is completely without boss mechanics at all. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.